Hey, coach. Today I'm going to teach you how to structure a life coaching session. My name's Krista Kathleen, and I am a life coach and business mentor, and I specialize in working with new life coaches to help them get their online coaching businesses set up so that way they can find paying clients and make money online and from anywhere in the world. So, just to let you all know, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm going to share with you how I personally structure my life coaching sessions and what's worked well when I was applying for my PCC, my professional certified coach certification with the ICF, International Coaching Federation. So this is a proven strategy that works and can get your clients really great results, but also feel free to find a method and a way that works well for you as well. But I know that when you're new and you're learning, it's nice to have some kind of structure to reference to. So how I do it is I start off with asking for a win from the client. And this is to help them build up their confidence in themselves and to start off the call on a positive note. So I'll say something along the lines of like, what's a win you want to celebrate together? Or what's something you want to brag about? Or what's something you're really proud of yourself for accomplishing over the past week? So we start off there. The next part is checking in with their previous commitments. So obviously, if it's a first coaching session, this is going to be a little bit different. But all of the following coaching sessions after that, at the end of each session, you are helping them to co-create actions that they can be working on to accomplish their goals. So you want to check in and make sure that they were successful with their accomplishing their goals over the past week or 2 weeks, whenever the last time it is that you met. And if they weren't, you want to find out what got in the way. And from there, you might find a coaching request. So, and again, you're going to be asking open-ended questions. So these are questions that don't end in yes or no answers. So some things you can say is like, what went well when working on your goals last week? What didn't go so well when you were working on your goals? And then depending on what they say, you would ask questions and go from there. And just make sure in this section that you're not coming from a place of judgment or criticism. Your client doesn't need that from you. You're not their parents. You're just there getting curious and helping them to truly be successful and figure out where is their limiting beliefs and habits and patterns, might be showing up in this area. Right. So after that, you're going to find a coaching request. So usually that takes about like 10 minutes between the win and the checking in with the past goals. So next you're going to have a coaching request. And this is the most important part of the call, because if you don't know what they need help with, then it's really hard to help them to define and measure success and knowing that they got their needs met. So it can be just as simple as saying, what do you want to focus on for today? Another way you can ask it is, how can I best support you today? So as you can see, using those open-ended questions, and then let them ask for whatever it is they need. We are not telling the clients what they need to do or focus on. That's more consulting. Coaching is truly about co-creating with the client, letting the client lead with their own agenda. Then from there, the bulk of the coaching call, you're going to do a lot of different coaching skills and techniques in order to help them to meet their requests. So you're going to be doing things like active listening, powerful questioning. You're going to do mirroring and paraphrasing, reflective inquiry. So I wish that I could like give you more structure for this section, but I really can't, because it's just whatever the client is going to be asking for help around. This is where it really helps to go through a coach training program so you know how to use these skills. A lot of new life coaches think that it's about giving life advice, and it's not. Sometimes you can give a little bit of advice. Always make sure you ask for permission first, because if you give advice and the client didn't ask for it, it can actually be a communication block. Like I said, there is a time and a place for advice. And, if a story comes up that you think from your past or current situation that you think can help the client, by all means share it. Just always ask for permission first. So what that could sound like is, hey, I have a personal story that I'd love to share with you that I think could really help you in this situation. Are you open to me sharing it right now? Right? Or with some advice. Hey, I'd love to share a little bit of advice with you around that situation that you just brought up. Are you open to me sharing? And then just trust your intuition too. Right? It's really important. I think that's the most important part of a coaching call, is really trusting yourself to hold space for the client, and then your intuition will tell you the right type of questions to ask or the right things to say in order to help the client move forward with the request. Okay, and then at the end of the coaching call, so when there's about like 10 minutes left, I'll check in and I'll say, okay, we have 10 minutes left. I want to make sure that you're feeling complete, that you got your request met today. And if they're like, yep, I'm good, then I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and create some goals for you to work on this week. What would you like to focus on for this week? Again, you're not prescribing anything. You're not telling them what to do. They are the ones that creating their own action items. If they say, I don't know, then sometimes you can come in with some suggestions, but always trust that your client has their own ideas and solutions. That's the whole point of coaching, is your client is the expert in their own life. And when you try to come in with advice and telling them what to do, it's basically saying you don't trust them. Right? So think about that. So you're going to ask them what goals that they want to create for the week. And then you always want to put a deadline on that goal. So if they say, okay, I want to work out this week, then you'll say like, okay, how many times do you want to work out and by when do you want to have that accomplished by, to make it more measurable, realistic. We're trying to create those SMART goals with the client. And then you want to make sure that you add in accountability as well. So what that could sound like is, how will we know that you're going to be successful with this goal? What will that look like? And just so you all know, so some different things for accountability is maybe they text you after they went to the gym 3 times, or maybe they send a selfie of themselves at the gym. You really shouldn't be the one checking in on them. They should be holding themselves accountable and checking in with you as much as possible, especially if you're like have 10 private clients or more. It can get really overwhelming trying to be like, well, who was I supposed to check in with today, and who's doing what and all that. So just remember, the client's not going to be working with you forever. So how can they practice really depending on themselves as much as possible? And also too, they can use like friends and family to hold them accountable as well. It doesn't always have to be you as their coach. And then what I do is I wrap up with a couple of closeout questions. So I'll say something like, what was most useful for you from today's session, or where might you have had a breakthrough in today's session, or what's one new thing you learned about yourself from today's session. So just something that's incorporating the learning process. And then it's also good feedback for you too, because you might be wondering, like, did they get anything out of the session? And so when they answer that question, it's like, oh, they did, right? And then I always end with an acknowledgement. So I do this one of 2 ways. I say, how would you like to be acknowledged today? Or what would you like to acknowledge yourself for today? And again, this is a way to practice recognizing themselves, celebrating themselves. Celebrations are such a huge part of goal setting, and then confidence building too. And then that's it. That is how I usually run my coaching calls. That's how I teach my students to set up their coaching calls as well. But again, also remembering that, you can find your own style as well, and put your own energy. And then a lot of coaches too might bring in other different modalities. Like maybe you can bring in Reiki, or you can bring in hypnotherapy, or some consulting, or meditation, or you can do oracle card pools. Like, so you can get as fun and creative as you want with your life coaching sessions. Let me know in the comment section below what was the most useful for you from today's video. And then also in the comments section below, let me know what additional questions you have about becoming a life coach, starting an online coaching business, so that way I can make future videos just for you addressing all of your most burning questions. So thanks again for watching and being a follower or subscriber. I so appreciate you, and have an amazing day. Bye.